I thought I'd just do a review of the Tekton 90 tooth flex head bent handle ratchet. I just picked this up a couple weeks ago. Give you maybe some specs on it. You can find all their specs on their website. I think they give some pretty detailed specs, but it's about 12.5 inches long. The width of the head here, just like from here to here, is about 1 inch and a 1/16, and the depth is about 1 inch here. Overall, I mean, it looks like a decent ratchet. I would have to say the main thing I am disappointed with is the tension on the flex head. And it just feels really lightweight as compared to a GearWrench 120 XP flex head. I have the straight handle GearWrench 120 XP, which I'll show in a minute. And it feels a lot, it doesn't have the same weight as it. It just doesn't feel like it's quite as solid. I'll show you my problem with the flex head here. I'll get it close to the camera. I mean, it's just, you just move the ratchet just a touch and it just, it doesn't lock very tight. It's just, it's hard to even, sorry about that, I hit the camera, but it's just kind of like, it's just too loose. I know it's like hard to gauge it. I mean, you'd have to hook up some sort of like spring gauge, fishing style gauge maybe to it to see how many pounds it takes to actually get it to move. But I mean, just a quick move of my hand, it just flops all over the place. You really need it to have a lot more tension than that. I'm not sure whether, you know, I don't work professionally anymore. I work just mainly at home, but I do quite a bit of wrenching. I have to say, if you work professionally, I'm not sure whether this ratchet is going to be considered a professional ratchet. If it's this loose out of the box, they only get looser over time. I mean, it's going to be just flopping around, right? I did see one guy on YouTube that he actually took the head apart and he shimmed up the spring to make the ratchet fit tighter, like the flex head tighter. Maybe that's something you can do, but when you have to do that like right out of the box, that tells you like right away that, you know, you bought the wrong ratchet. If it needs fixing like right out of the gate there, you know, it's just not the right ratchet. You should have bought something a little bit better quality. At this point, I'm not sure whether I'm going to return it because of this. I haven't really used it. I've had it for a couple weeks, but I've just kind of played around with it a bit. But yeah, it does have, let's see how many positions it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's got 9 positions. The gear inside, I mean, it's super quiet. It seems really nice. I mean, it switches nice and everything. The chrome job on it is really nice. I have to say I do like the Tekton handles here, like this spot for your thumb. It fits my hand really well. Not sure if that'll be for everybody. I have pretty big hands. But yeah, it's, you know, overall it's a nice ratchet. Like I said, it's 12.5 inches long, so it is a nice long ratchet. If you're buying it as like a second or third flex head, you know, just have another option of getting in tight spots, you know, having the bent handle, I think that'd be fine. But if you're using it as your primary ratchet, I don't think it's going to hold up, to be honest with you. Not in a professional atmosphere, that's for sure. I'll give you a comparison with my GearWrench. Here's my GearWrench 120 XP. I've had this thing for probably close to 5 or 6 years. Probably even more than that, maybe 7 years. I'll have to look at the receipt. But I mean, this thing's seen heavy use. I was using this professionally up until a few years ago. And I mean, it doesn't even move. Oh, there you go. It finally moved, but I mean, it's not even close, right? I mean, I'm really wiggling it, and then it finally moves. I mean, it's a really stiff flex joint, which I like, right? When you're getting on a bolt, you don't want the head to be flopping all the way around. It is less positions, the GearWrench 120 XP. I think it's, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think that's right. Okay, let's see here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, it's got 7 positions. And it does use a bit of a different mechanism. It's using a ball instead of the Tekton has some sort of little, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not a ball detent. It's got something that kind of fits in the groove there a little differently. Maybe that's it, or because it's got more positions, maybe it just doesn't engage quite the same. But I mean, this is definitely a professional ratchet, I think. I think it's probably just maybe one level below like a Snap-on or Mac, the GearWrench 120s, but I have no problem using this professionally. I actually think it's a great value, and it's held up really, really well for me. But you can see, compared them in lengths. I'll get that back in camera view. The length is, you know, it's got, I think this is about 11.5 inches. The head is wider. It's 1.25 inches, as opposed to the Tekton is 1 1/16. And they're both the same depth. They're both about 1 inch deep here. But the GearWrench switch does stick out a little bit more than the Tekton. Maybe put that in camera view there. I don't know if you can see that, but the GearWrench does stick out a bit more, it looks like. The Tekton's hard to show in camera. It's kind of flash there. You can see it there. But, yeah, it's just, yeah, the Tekton's decent. It just, I feel like the head just, I mean, you just have to move it. The head just flops around. I mean, here's my old bent handle. This is just a cheapo. You get the 2 spark plug sockets, an extension, and the ratchet for, I think I paid 15 or 20 bucks for this at Canadian Tire in Canada on sale. It was half price. But, I mean, even this one, I mean, look at this. It doesn't even, it finally moves, and this is using a ball with round detents, not line detents like the GearWrench, but it's got a lot less positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. That's kind of the reason I replaced it. I really hate the round head ratchets. But I mean, this just feels more solid, and yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. You can see like the quality, like this real cheapo ratchet and this ratchet, they're both the same width here in this area. And if you look at the GearWrench just looks a lot more solid. I mean, you can see how big it is in this area here. I don't know whether being big down here is going to make a difference here, but it just seems a lot more, you know, durable. And yeah, we'll see what how this one actually holds up if I do decide to keep it. But besides that, I'm not sure what else to say. Like I said, it does visually look good. I mean, the chrome is really nice, like I mentioned. Everything else looks good. They have the name that's not laser etched. The Tekton is actually imprinted here. I don't know if my camera will focus in on that or not, but no, it probably won't. But you know, the chrome, everything looks good. There's a closer look at the mechanism there. But yeah, it's just really loose. I mean, you really have to, I mean, it just moves so easily. I mean, here's just one finger. So, all right, so that's my review of the Tekton. It's kind of, I don't think it's, if you were to give it like out of like 5 stars, I'd probably give it maybe 3 stars. I'd give the GearWrench probably like 4 or 4.5 for sure. It just seems a lot more durable, and like I said, I use this professionally, and I still have, you know, it's just held up really, really well. Hopefully you like this review. If you do, subscribe below, and check out my other videos that I'll have coming up. If you have any questions about the ratchet, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. Have a good one.